mass audience across Ghana and beyond. Elevate your brand through connections, celebrating culture, and making a lasting impression. For customized sponsorship packages and enquiries, email contact@GhanaTalksRadio.com or call +233 202 544614. Ghana Talks Radio, giving the youth a voice.
What do you want for breakfast? How do you want your breakfast?
English breakfast, French fries.
Koko nikosi, alo komi kesheto.
Wache.
Well, Gobe is the real deal.
Join us on Ghana Talks Radio. Let's serve you a buffet of breakfast.
From news headlines review, current affairs to social issues.
Entertainment, sports, and all the trending stories live on our mobile app and across all socials from Monday to Friday, 7 a.m. to 10 a.m.
With me, Pakwesi Omare,
Regina Bless,
Deborah Adoso,
and I am Esinal Fiagbedu. This is Ghana Talks Breakfast Show. This is Ghana Talks Breakfast Show, your morning companion.
Ghana Talks Radio, #1. Ghana Talks Radio, #1.
This is Ghana Talks Breakfast Show, your morning companion. This is Ghana Talks Radio, and you are welcome to the Ghana Talks Breakfast Show right here on Ghana Talks Radio. This is your morning companion. Welcome to the news headline review. Here we bring you all the latest headlines making waves in the news and informed perspectives on issues that matter to you every morning right here on the show. And as you know it, I don't do this alone. Sitting in the studios with me is Miss Debbie Adoso and Miss Regina Bless, ready to share their perspective and opinions on the issues we have on board this morning. Good morning, ladies.
Good morning.
How are you doing?
Good. The grace is sufficient.
Oh, Miss Regina?
Yeah, I'm fine.
Oh, are we already morning? I know we are morning.
Yeah, we can't wear black again.
Our formal vice president. So yesterday we didn't hear a good news. Yesterday we lost our former first lady, and that was so sad. But before we dive into the items for this morning, what would you remember her for, Miss Regina? Nana Kunedu Ajima Rollins. What would you remember her for?
She was a mother to the nation, and she still remains a mother to the nation. So I would say may her soul rest in peace, and also condolences to the bereaved family.
Right. Thank you. Miss Debbie.
Yeah, so she was an advocate for women. She spoke on behalf of women, abuse, violence, and everything, and even child abuse. So this woman is actually known for that. And she going to meet our Lord. Well, it's a big blow, but she has to go. It's a necessity as well. We're going to miss her advocacy for women, but I know she has raised people that will take after her.
Right. Okay. Thank you. May her soul rest in peace. All right, so let's dive into our major news item for this morning. Mahama Ayariga justifies U.S. deportee deal, rejects calls for parliamentary approval. The majority leader, Mahama Ayariga, has mounted a strong defense for government's decision to sign a memorandum of understanding with the United States on the deportation of some West African nationals, dismissing opposition claims that the deal should have been approved by Parliament. Speaking on the floor of Parliament on Wednesday, Mr. Ayariga said the agreement was legally sound and did not fall under arrangements requiring parliamentary ratification. He maintained that the deal serves Ghana's national interest and has already yielded positive results, notably the removal of U.S. visa restriction on Ghanaians. He said, if the legal advice to this House is that we should ratify it, we will consider so, but for now, government has acted within the law, he explained. He added that the agreement protects Ghanaian citizens and supports trade and travel between the two nations, describing it as a practical and beneficial step in foreign relations. However, the minority strongly disagree, insisting that any deal with foreign policy implications must be approved by Parliament in line with the Constitution. Meanwhile, civil society group Democracy Hub has taken the matter to Supreme Court, seeking legal interpretation on whether the MOU required ratification before implementation. Does the U.S. deportee deal violate Ghana's constitutional requirements for parliamentary approval? Just as how the minority is saying, but the majority in Parliament is defending it with all boldness and confidence.
If it doesn't violate the law in our constitution or the constitution, I'm not sure they would speak against it, or they will yearn for it to be deliberated in Parliament. And I said some time ago that the arms of government, every arm of government has a role to play. The executive have a role to play, the judiciary has a role to play, and the legislative has a role to play. And the legislative being the members of Parliament. The executives cannot take a decision without bringing it to Parliament. That is how it's stated. If you take a decision, it has to be deliberated in Parliament for it to be passed. And that is how we have both parties. We have the majority and the minority. And both of them has a say. If not, I'm not sure it will be deliberated. But recently, President Mahama clarified that Ghana received deportees under the ECOWAS protocol on free movement, which allows citizens of member states to enter and into national states and stay without visa up to 90 days. So it's like under the ECOWAS protocol, you can also go to other countries and stay for 90 days without visa. So after that, you can pack your things and go. So according to President Mahama, with this alone is enough. There is no need for you to go back to Parliament and then seek the consent of Parliament before you allow these people into the country. But now that this thing has become sort of conflicting, I feel like they have to explain it more. I can't really tell whether the minority want to use this to do propaganda anyway, but the president has already explained himself. But it looks as if the minorities still do not really understand why we will receive deportees in this country without their consent in Parliament. So I feel like they should make things known. They should clarify things enough for them to understand.
Right. Messagina, what do you have to say with the defense of Mama Yariga?
So I don't really have much to say, but from what we all know, when it comes to such issues, they need a ratification or they need the debate of parliamentary. That is, the parliamentary falls under legislature, if I'm not mistaken. So, as Debbie said, President Mahama has come out to clarify. The minister also in charge also came out to clarify, and now majority leader has also come out to clarify. So I think now the best thing they need to do is to pour more elaboration on this for the minority, for them to really understand it. For them, it's still in the wrong that they didn't come to Parliament to make sure that everyone brought their ideas, or because I know in certain issues you need to even vote on them. So according to them, no, when in one, but all these three people have come out to back the issue. So I think they also need to understand it, even if they will not understand. It's serious. So,
but do you think that if this issue is not looked into properly, it's going to be like a normal thing that if any government comes into power, they would like to do, because these people have done it, so why can't we also do it? When it happens like that, there will be no proper scrutiny or checks before even allowing these deportees into the country.
Oh, I wouldn't be surprised if the next government also does same, because this country, the politicians tend to politicize everything. They'll be like, when buy and so almost and say yes, why are you talking about it? So everything boils down to transparency. As he said, we need much scrutiny on everything that goes on in this country, whether it's a memorandum that was signed between these two people, it is an agreement that is already there. I feel like it still needs to go through the due process. Gold itself doesn't just wake up one day and become gold. It goes through refined process. So I think in a way I would agree with you. They need to make sure that things go through the proper process.
Right. Ms. Stepping.
Yes, for me, I think there should be an intensive education regarding all this, because this is the first time we actually seeing this happening. That a country has deported people, they feel like they don't need them anymore, and then you go to pick them in. Whether they are criminals, we don't know. Why they were deported, we have no idea. So it looks as if we are being kept in the dark. So I feel like there should be an intensive education. Educate us well on why this is happening. Are there criminals? Maybe no. This and this and this and this and that. Fine, the memorandum, because you can't tell me that you signed a memorandum just like that. There's actually a benefit you will gain. You cannot just receive deportees like that. No, there is something you've signed, and we want to know, because if such issues should arise again in the future, then we will know how to go about it. But when we don't solve it, and then we feel like, well, the government says that it's neutral, it's according to the protocols of the ECOWAS, and it's supposed to be done. It's not only Ghana, other African, I think either Cote d'Ivoire or Burkina Faso, they are also doing same. But I feel like we need to know more. There's that. If something of that sort arise in the future, we will know how to go about it, and then wouldn't be like, well, you did same, so why will you come out complaining? And it will make us if we are speaking without knowing what we are saying. So I feel like we need to know more. You can't sign memorandum like that.
Like that.
Something went on.
Which you think they should just come out and
be
transparent about.
I've heard a lot of speculations where people are saying that this deportee is because Ghana is receiving this deportees. That's why they've extended the visa period for us, and it's not based on what President Mahama actually went there to say. So there is a lot of speculation. So I just feel like
they should just come and clear the air.
You will be kind of because here continue how we would tend to speak it out will be different.
Right.
I know how people.
Moving on. Negligence by banks enabling money laundering schemes. Atu Ahin caution. Banking consultant Dr. Richmond has criticized some financial institutions for failing to enforce anti-money laundering regulations. And negligence, he says, is giving room for fraudulent transactions and corruption to thrive. Speaking on the City Breakfast Show on Thursday, Dr. Richmond warned that banks ignoring red flags or bypassing due diligence are aiding money laundering, whether intentionally or out of weak outside. If I'm a bank staff member earning 10,000 Ghana cedis and suddenly there's a payment of 200,000 Ghana cedis, that's a suspicious transaction, he said. That should alert the bank to investigate and report it to the Financial Intelligence Center. He explained that both Ghanaian financial laws and international banking standards demand strict monitoring of such activities, but some banks, in the rush to attract deposits, have relaxed compliance. He added, "It's done all over the world, but here, competition seems to have made some institutions forget the basis in account opening and transaction monitoring." His comments follow revelations by Attorney General Dr. Dominic Ayeni, who recently exposed major cases of money laundering and financial irregularities, including a 40.5 million Ghana cedis laundering scheme linked to former Buffer Stock CEO Hanan Abdul Wahab, a staggering 2.2 billion Ghana cedis loss uncovered in the National Service Authority scandal, far higher than the initial 548 million Ghana cedis reported. Dr. Richmond has called on regulators and financial institutions to tighten their systems, enforce laws, and report suspicious activities to prevent further abuse of the banking system. Do you think we can even trust our banks right here in our country? Because it's quite disturbing. Because even if you want to open a bank account, there are lots of questions, personal questions they ask you. They ask you that how much do you earn a month as a worker? So, and I believe they ask all these questions so that if they see any form of irregularities, you'll be caught or the issue will be investigated on. But looking at the revelations with the AG made with regards to the buffer stock and the issue of the NSS scandal, where these people actually divert money from the public funds, from the public accounts, from the state funds to private accounts, and then no questioning, no alert, simply because it's a competition. The more you deposit, the more they are also gaining. Interests are going up because they'll offer loans to people and then all of that. Don't you see this to be a very disturbing issue, especially with our bank and with these people that we've seen them diverted monies into their private accounts? Shouldn't these banks to also be called for questioning?
Well, let me start from this point. Our banks are not to be trusted. But as you said, when you go into the bank to create accounts, they ask you personal details that are supposed to be known only by you. And in a way, it's supposed to be confidential. And it's not supposed to be linked. So sometimes I find it very difficult when someone calls you, the person calls you by your name, and the person tells you that I'm calling from here, I've sent money. How do they get those details? Because those details are supposed to be personal. And if that details is being shared with an entity and you cannot protect the identity of your customer, then it means we are not safe as a country.
Right.
And sometimes most of these banks are being owned by politicians, by these same politicians that are embezzling state funds. So how do you expect these people to pass through the right procedures? No, they wouldn't do that. And I feel like it's about time we start to question these people. These banks, for instance, we are supposed to question them if something like this is going on. So let's take Abdul Wahab case, for instance. This man has sent couples of money to different accounts. And before money comes to your account, it is being sent straight from the government. So maybe the government sends, before the government pay its employees in other government institutions, maybe through the Bank of Ghana, it being deposited to ADB in the name of maybe the Controller General in that particular region. So you know that ADB, anytime the money comes through, it comes from, when the government is sending you money to disburse to these people through the Bank of Ghana, it gets to you. Now, if me being the sole leader or being in charge of control, the controller department, which the responsibility I play or the role I play is to disburse this money to employees of the government, and then I come to you to withdraw the money, and then I've sent the money couples into my own personal account. Or can you send this money into my account? Then the next time into someone's account, which is allegedly my wife, with the same surname. Right. There should be a question. Why is the money being diverted into your account? This money is supposed to go through this also account. And don't forget that these banks, they have every employee's detail. And that is why the government pays to your account. The Controller General Department, they have details of every employee, your bank account number and everything. So if you're paying to the employee, you are supposed to know. If the money is not, so it makes me believe that is it that we are not monitoring these people enough?
Exactly.
Or is there not anything even if the controller general is disbursing this money and me being in my office, I can actually tell that yes, this is what is going on. Nothing to detect. And this has gone on for 8 good years.
From 2017 to 2024.
And we are now getting to know it.
So assuming a new political party didn't come into power, it will continue.
It will still continue.
Right.
It will still continue. And it's very bad. You see, so let me read something very small. I feel so point number 1 is the reason why we see this thing happening in our banks is because these banks lacks due diligence. Failure to verify identities of these customers that brings in their money to save or even to withdraw. You know, there are certain amounts you cannot withdraw from the bank. If you are withdrawing that amount, you need to be questioned why so much money.
Right.
Even as a normal person saving in the bank, you cannot withdraw all your money. If you withdraw, there are a percentage. A percentage, you know very well that you cannot withdraw it. The bank will not allow you to do that. And it is the same way. There are amounts you cannot bring in, or you cannot maybe bring in that your saving is normal, but maybe you taking it out. They'll question you. What, like such a huge sum of money? They want to know, what business are you into? What do you do as an individual? Are you a businessman? This is the business you do. How do you earn from this business? And I feel like, as well as most of this, as you said, they are only interested in profit. The more you save, again, because every month they deduct. Every month they deduct something from your account as their profit. And depending on the amount you have, they get their profit. Look at the population of Ghana.
Right.
And imagine half of this population is saving at Bank of Ghana, ADB. And they want to deduct, say, you might see 10 cedi to be something very less. But about 1,000 or million people, they are getting something. They are really getting money.
Yes.
So this kind of people, they don't really take time to verify this person. And we have a lot of fraudsters saving in our banks. They bring in huge money every day. They take out huge money, and we don't even question them. We allow them to go scot-free. So I feel like that is another one. Then, as I said, insufficient monitoring. Inadequate transaction monitoring and reporting of suspicious activities. If I am the owner of this bank and I go to report someone of being suspicious, a suspicion that you are engaged in this and this and this, I feel like it will come back eating at me as the owner of the bank. So the best thing is to keep quiet. And I don't know whether the life of these people are being threatened. For that, I can't tell. So this is also part. Then poor record keeping. Failure to maintain accurate and complete records of transactions. And then bank employees and officials may be complicit in a honor. The people working there. They are also part.
Because obviously if they come and deposit that money,
Ube And you see, sometimes someone will come and withdraw a very huge sum of money. And as the person is going, the person gets attacked by robbers. Then I ask myself, how did these people get to know that you are from this bank? Okay, you are heading to this place. How? So I feel like there is an insider in every bank we have. And these people leak information outside. So let's take MTN for instance. Somebody can just call you and they give you details. Because when you're going to register your SIM card, they take your date of birth, they take your name, they take other details. And these people know exactly like everything about you. So I feel like there is an insider. There was a situation where this bullion van that a police, I think 2 police escorts and one was killed.
Yeah, one was. Is it the one that happened at Sablekuma?
Yes.
Right.
Immediately they get out from the bank. How did these robbers get to know? I know that bullion van. So
you think like an insider?
There is an insider in all banks.
In all banks. Anyways, Miss Regina, What can you say about the negligence of these banks without checking this? Because I believe there should be a regulatory something that all banks should follow. But it looks like some banks are not following, and they are aiding and helping these governments or officials to milk from the state taxpayers' money going out just like that.
Okay, so first off, I would say the code of conduct or virtues of these bank officials are gradually eroding because of, should I say, greed. Because obviously, whatever transaction that goes on in life, you would definitely have your own percentage. We call something commission. So at the end of the day, these government officials would definitely promise these people huge sums of money. And since you are greedy, you would also fall for it. I can't remember, sometime last year my Access account was blocked. I went there and they told me I'm receiving money from outside. Am I a fraudster? And I was like, oh, the person sending this money is actually a family member. They told me to provide evidence. I brought the evidence. They said unless they hear from this person first before my account will be unlocked. I was like, what is this? The money is for something. I almost said that. It took 1 week before my Access account was unlocked for me. So they should tell you, say, some institutions, some bank institutions really follow all due, you can't say, follow the process really well. Some of them really follow the process really well. I don't know if you've heard of MTN also blocking people's Momo accounts just because they randomly receive money each and every time on it.
Exactly.
And you would have to go to the office first before your account is open for you. They'll tell you, say, are the whole year fraud or number and we have a merchant number where for that you can receive any amount you want, but it also has a limit. You can't receive some particular amount. So I would say the bank institutions there, I wouldn't say they lack education. They don't lack education because these people know very well what they are doing. And as we are all saying, you know that this person's at the end of the month, he or she is supposed to receive 10,000 Ghana cedis. Then you see a transaction of 200,000 Ghana cedis. You need to call this person and question the person.
Exactly.
Or I'm some Financial Intelligence Center.
Yeah.
You need to report this in this account to this institution. But no. As we are all saying, the only thing these people care about is the deposits these people are making. Because you need to hit a target. Every bank will target a certain man. At the end of this month, hit this target of 1 billion. And any ways and means you need to find to hit that target, you need to do it. They don't really care how the money comes in. These are also, I would say, and also kahubina. All this money laundering thing is really going on. And also, that you can say, cross transaction. This government officials, see, they have their ways with these people. And I don't know the number of education these people would have to go through. Debbie said something, insider. I watched a movie where someone withdrew a huge sum of money. And OPA, he was attacked. I was like, how did they get to know that this person would withdraw this kind of money? It's an insider. Said you'll be Momo office, not the numbers in mama and microphone. It's the same way.
It's the same way.
So I mean case education because these people are siatra or siatra. It is greed. And they need to make sure that for money into from every bank institution. Then they should arrest these people, because I say at the end of the day they'll retrieve the money and that person will go scot-free. So
the banks, so what would you suggest the government do to these banks who have actually aided?
They should close them down.
They should, So what if it happens is your bank and they close them down?
I will just withdraw my money. Then they should close it down.
Banks. The biggest government close
exactly.
Almost like 50.
That was a different issue. But this one, these are actually banks who are aiding people still.
They should close it down. They should revoke their license.
They should revoke
Simple
their
as that.
license.
Oh, cause more sakra, they'll go back to their old ways.
People don't easily change.
And you can also say that it's just
Temptation, banana,
Millions of-
millions of
What are you
OJ.
saying?
Imagine.
You
Yeah.
put Bible aside.
Bank crowd, yeah, to mean Jina Homo being choska.
Yeah.
In so name.
Yeah.
Be finance a so
Yeah, you're right.
they are now stealing in an inter. Yesterday I said it here. And you said actually
There should be strict supervision and monitoring.
exactly with these banks.
And the
'Cause
consumers too. Once an ATM card, there is this pin that is known to yourself alone. Be very, very careful.
Then they'll be showing this card on.
Yes.
The last time, I don't know if you heard of it, one lady, she mistakenly showed the ATM card on TikTok.
how are
Oh,
you? Like
Omo-
how are you?
Omo Kochi
No,
Nisika.
how are you?
How are you? Like, does it really make sense? So you should be careful. And then TikTok and this other social media platforms. Like when you post a video, sometimes they want you to boost the video, and boosting the video, you're supposed to pay an amount
With your
Yes.
credit card.
with your
Yes.
credit card. So you need to be very, very
Very,
careful.
very, very
Most
careful.
of these people are operating in a guise of being like
Banks. And
Banks,
especially these
banks.
small loan apps. Be very, very careful.
Then with your Ghana card, people have Vimo.
So once they have your Ghana card, that's it
Asa.
too. They can do anything you do with it. So be careful. We are not saying that taking loans is bad, but look for the credible ones that you can take. It's not bad to ask for help. It's not bad to ask for help. All right, moving
those who
on.
take and they don't pay.
Yes, pay.
Especially the quick
Yeah.
loan. Oh. I have a friend who has taken like twice. But we are not a busim.
Oh, no.
Your
Don't hear more.
details is there.
Your details
Your
is there.
details is there.
MTN will come and call you for questioning. Go and show us that friend.
Now, one day they'll just send a message to someone close to you, very for.
Yeah, and
I don't know if you've received a message like that. Because I've received a message like that before. A friend of mine who is owing MTN loan, I send the time now atrium, and they sent me a message that I should remind the person. I was like,
But how did they get access to your?
They
Your
No,
number?
I they check.
You
They
know,
have every contact.
even the calls you make before you get to the person, it go through somewhere. So they really know the people.
They
you
know
talk to.
everything.
Right. Moving on. I don't know if I'm getting this name right, but I've checked and I believe it's right. Naimos.
Name us.
No. Is it Naimos or Nemos? Naimos. All right. Naimos intensifies anti-galamsey operations, records major successes in Western, North, and Ashanti regions. The National Anti-Illegal Mining Operations Secretariat has stepped up its fight against illegal mining, recording major victories in two regions, Western, North, and the Ashanti region. In a coordinated operation on Tuesday, the National Anti-Illegal Mining Operations Secretariat Task Force stormed the Tano Forest Reserve, where they arrested several suspects, including Chinese national believed to be an excavator operator. The team also seized 4 pump-action guns, 22 carriages, and 3 buckets containing suspected mining material. Authorities says the arrest marks a significant breakthrough in efforts to dismantle armed mining syndicate operating within Ghana's forest reserves. Later the same day, the task force extended operations to the Boyne River Forest Reserve in the Enchi district, and then to illegal mining hotspots in the Asante Achim and Joaso district of the Asante region. Acting on intelligence, the team discovered 6 excavators, destroyed illegal mining equipment, and arrested 8 suspects. They also burned mining boats, washing platforms, and fuel containers along the Par River to prevent further damage to the environment. The National Anti-Illegal Mining Operations Secretariat says it remains committed to sustaining these nationwide operations to protect Ghana's forest reserves, water bodies, and farmlands from illegal mining activities. Do you think that this crackdown can actually be sustained across these galamsey hotspots? Mrs. Gina.
Can it be sustained?
Yes, because you've seen them going. We don't want a case
And
whereby
teachers say
consistency, right? If they'll be able to sustain it, because I believe if they'll be able to sustain it like this, at least we wouldn't be able to eradicate it immediately, but we can manage the situation.
Yeah. So the name we were all deliberating on, that name, NIMOS.
The National Anti-Illegal Mining Secretariat.
Yeah. So I would say first off, they are really doing a good job.
Right.
Because I've seen cases where they've arrested some people, they've seized excavators, they've seized machines and all that, and they are still on the run. We've seen some people also who have named themselves anti-Galamsey task force. Almost started come on. But Edu baby no, now we don't really hear of them again. But NIMOS or say NAMOS no. I would say if these people would sustain, I don't know if it's a national into buying.
Yeah. Buying.
If they would really sustain, they need all the resources at hand. And without the resources, they won't sustain. There's no way you can go to work each and every day without having all the resources at hand. So if the government is providing everything these people need, trust me, they will be able to crack down on these illegal miners. But now the illegal miners, they've become very and extremely smart. I saw a video where one person started swimming. And some of these police officers or these people, they don't even know how to swim. Are they?
Yesterday she mentioned that one police officer also followed them to swim and then
he died. So you don't know how to swim. Why would you
even risk your life?
No, this one we're not buying phones. So you don't know how to swim.
How are you?
Oh,
how are you?
It's
true. It's true. Some people go the extreme.
I say voter league meaning say mean to me swimming. Now check Crawford. Now Crawford I won't do that. No, I won't do that. Munja is a most producer. Be careful. So as I was saying, all it takes is the resources at hand and also dedication. As you said, consistency. Someone always preaches about consistency. Consistency is key. If you do it today, you don't do it tomorrow. Yeah, who are not? So, hey,
is that how you are?
So it's all about the kind of consistency and the resources. They just need to provide it for these people, and I feel that is it. Yeah.
Besides, they're overwhelmed.
Oh yes, those people are actually overwhelmed because it's not easy to go every day, each and every day, and arresting these people. They will be overwhelmed.
Hello, Miss Debbie.
Oh goodness. Yes, consistency is key in whatsoever you do. So looking at this Galamsey and how far it has affected us as a country, and then you see what they are doing is nothing new though. We've seen things like that, but to keep on doing the same thing till this thing comes to an end, and then you are similar. Although we know that this is not going to solve Galamsey, it's not really going to bring an end, a total end to it, but at least a best so anokaka. And because of this, I must say that most of these illegal miners are always on their guard. They are always on their guard because they feel like they are not. Should I say they are not secured or they are not protected? Because they feel like when they are on site, at any time.
Yeah.
Because
so they are always armed. Let's put it like that.
They are always armed. If not, why are you laughing? If not, it will end in a different way. Now, I've seen a lot of people who are also taking the steps of the
anti-Galamsey.
The anti-Galamsey let me just put the anti-galamsey group. I see a lot of people. One has to do with Hannah Bisiu.
Yes.
She's actually doing a very great job.
It's been long ahead of her.
Exactly.
You see, that woman actually works underground. She works without you not knowing. The issue came out, I think, when someone was actually lauding her for what she did. That was when she came out. And she said it boldly that she doesn't want people to know. And like fighting galamsey, it's not something that should be known. If you sutria, it's just like you going to rob someone as an armed robber and then telling you that this evening I'll be coming.
Exactly.
And do you think I'll be in the house? I'll also prepare myself and wait for you. Or either I'll bring the police or run with my properties. So working towards this or fighting illegal mining should be something that it has to be just like the way we have investigative journalists. You work underground. It should be yes, it should be like that. So we have a lot of people who are actually working underground. And then the Ashanti regional minister, the man is really doing a great work.
Yeah.
This morning I saw him, I think he went for a program in China or something. And he was preaching against how these people come into our country, destroy our forest reserves, and then go back to their country. Whilst their country has a very nice forest reserves and water bodies. So we have people doing that. In a way, it's still the old things that we've been seeing people doing, because the burning of these excavators and stuff is something that we've seen before. But the consistency to maintain it, it's just like you promising yourself that till you achieve this thing, no rest, no this, no that. So till we psych our mind like that, dear, it will be like we putting square round pegs in square holes.
Right. So consistency is key. Very, very important. All right. Thank you so much for joining us in the news headline review. Up next, we have WHQ.
Welcome to Debbie's Grill, where we talk about issues that concern the state, void of politics, fear, or favor. The Minister of Health, Kwabena Minta Kando, has disclosed plans by the government to establish at least 6 new regional hospitals in regions currently without regional hospitals. Speaking during a courtesy call by leaders of the Ahmadiyya Muslim Mission, Mr. Akando retreated the government's commitment to improve healthcare in the country, indicating the government's plan to continue all Agenda 111 hospitals inherited from the previous government and to also construct at least 6 regional hospitals in 4 years. He also added that the ministry will partner with mining companies in mining areas to complete and manage hospitals which are still at an early stage of construction. We are bringing a lot of people in, especially in the mining areas. We are looking at giving those projects, those at the very low levels, giving them the project to the mining companies to own and to complete, and then we support them to run those facilities, he stated. You and I know that one of the biggest challenge we face here in Ghana has to do with the government coming on board and then completing projects started by previous administration. Taking the healthcare for example, we have a lot of hospitals that are not completed, and then we have hospitals that are completed and they are even in operation, but they are lacking the needed resources to aid in giving the needed healthcare or delivering the needed healthcare to patients. So recently we saw instances where Konfanoche a hospital came out that some of their buildings are dilapidated. They are also lacking some needed resources to deliver proper healthcare to patients. And we know that Konfanoche Hospital is a very big hospital. I mean, it's catered for all 16 regions. And we have a lot of people going there. If it is not Konfanoche Hospital, then it has to do with Kolebu. I'm not saying we don't have other hospitals, we have them. But these 2 major hospitals has become a go-to area for a lot of patients. If it is not Konfanoche, it has to do with Kolebu Hospital. And these are places that people go to be given treatment. And it's quite sad. Sometimes you get to hospital and the doctors have to tell you that we are sorry. We don't have this. You're supposed to be transported to this area. And most of the regions do not have a hospital, do not have a regional hospital where maybe someone in a remote area can actually access a hospital closer to him or her. And sometimes we have to transport people all the way from northern region, all the way from Volta region to Accra for treatment, which is not supposed to be so. We can equally have some of these big hospitals in all these regions. So when I saw this, I was equally happy that the government is bringing this on board, that they are going to build regions, in six regions that do not have a regional hospital are going to get one. And that has to do with the newly created regions. Because for the regions we know, being the Ashanti region, if you go to the Volta region, we have Trafalgar. If you come to Greater Accra, they have their own. If you go to the Ashanti region, we have the Konfanoche Teaching Hospital. If you go to the northern region, we have the Tamale Teaching Hospital. But when you go to this newly created region, they don't really have a regional hospital. And so somebody can be in a remote area, say Paza, and the person will be transported all the way to Kolebu in Accra, which is very, very bad. And sometimes the condition which this person is very, very serious. And you know our roads are very bad. And sometimes a pregnant woman needs to be transported all the way from Kwaza. From Kwaza to Accra has to do with 24 hours, the whole day. Imagine somebody at the point of death and being transported all the way from this place to Accra. Whereas we can actually build a regional hospital in that area to cater for these people. So if they are bringing this on board, it's very, very good. It needs to be applauded. And also completing hospitals, the Agenda 111 that the previous government started and they couldn't finish. The only problem I had is he's saying that they are going to complete it in a pace of 4 years, which I know for that you don't even know anybody. You don't need anybody to tell you this. We've experienced a government that used 8 years and still couldn't complete Agenda 111 hospitals. So I believe you might probably say that we will complete it by giving a timeline or a deadline towards that. Don't forget that we are going to hold you accountable to your words. And I think this is something that we have to learn. If you're a party and you want to come into power, if God willing, you get the nod to lead. You're supposed to complete project that was started by previous administration. If Agenda 111 hospital is to be completed, although it started with the MPP administration, it's not going to only cater for people that are affiliated to MPP alone. No. If a hospital is being built up by a particular party, it's not going to deliver treatment to only those people. When the current administration came in power, somewhere in 2016, they brought on board e-blocks. And e-blocks was at the service of every Ghanaian, regardless of the party you're affiliated to. Everybody had a share of it. So if this Agenda 111 hospital is also to be completed, it's going to help us as a country. You will go there for treatment. And I think that is going to reduce burden on some of these hospitals, like the Konfanoche Hospital, like the Kolebu hospitals, like the hospitals we know. Imagine we are able to complete this Agenda 111 hospital. It will definitely help us as a country. And I like the fact that he also said some of this hospital will be given to mining companies. We have a lot of mining companies that mine in communities, and you still go into those communities and you feel as if they are living in their own world, a world that does not exist. Poor road, they don't have good water to drink, dilapidated building where students go to stay and study. Everything about the community is so poor. But we have a mining community, we have a mining company in that community. If a community and you have gold, it means automatically you are rich. So if a company is coming to your community and it tells you that, oh, we are not mining illegally, we have the license and everything, there should be a contract. We are mining and maybe we are building this. We are mining, we are building schools for you. We are mining, we are constructing your roads. We are mining and then we make sure that we get you potable water to drink. We are mining, but we also ensure that we give you a good hospital, resource the hospital, so you don't need to struggle as a community. This is what we want to see. No mining in a community, and at the end, these people are being left tattered, not knowing where to run to for help. It's a pity, because someone can actually hit their chest and tell them, oh, I'm coming from a community where it's so much or full of gold. But looking at the person, gold in the jail, baby, or looking at the community, they're so impoverished. Nothing to show. So I believe when we hand over such projects to these companies, and then it's mandatory for them to do it, it's going to help us. And little by little, these communities will also develop. That is how we develop. It wouldn't start, you just don't wake up and then a community or a country is developed. No, it takes step by step. It takes procedures. So when we are able to do this, a time will come where we will no longer be talking about our health sectors. And that is if whatever we've penned down on paper is being materialized. Thank you for making time with me on Debbie's Grill.
Thank you so much, Miss Debbie, for Debbie's Grill. Today in history with Miss Regina Blair.
Today in history, Northern Rhodesia gained independence from Britain and became the Republic of Zambia. The transition followed the collapse of the Federation of Rhodesia and Nyasaland and was led by figures like Kenneth Kaunda, who became the first president. African-American civil rights activist Rosa Parks died. Her act of defiance became a catalyst for the Montgomery bus boycotts, a 381-day protest that led to the Supreme Court ruling that declared bus segregation unconstitutional. Parks is celebrated as the First Lady of Civil Rights and the mother of the freedom movement, and her courage continues to inspire the fight for equality and justice. The Battle of Caporetto began on this day 1917 at 2:00 a.m. with a brief but intense artillery bombardment by Austro-German forces. This initial assault, followed by a swift infantry attack supported by poison gas and dense fog, broke through the Italian lines, leading to one of the worst defeats in Italian military history. To some observances, United Nations Day marks the anniversary of the entry into force in 1945 of the UN Charter, with the ratification of this founding document by the majority of its signatories, including the 5 permanent members of the Security Council. The United Nations officially came into being. National Crazy Day is a day for people to act crazy. The idea of the day is for people to have fun and be a little unhinged while breaking away from the normal rules and routine. and to do things a little bit differently than they are usually doing. National Pharmacy Buyer Day. It is a day to recognize the vital role pharmacy buyers play in ensuring that pharmacies are properly stocked with necessary medications and supplies. These professionals manage inventory, negotiate costs, and work behind the scenes to make sure that when patients and doctors need a drug, it is available. Lastly, World Tripe Day. To promote and celebrate tripe, a culinary delicacy made from the stomach lining of animals. Ghanaians call it yemadie. People observe this day by enjoying various tripe dishes from different cultures, which can range from soups to deep-fried recipes. And that's all for today on Today in History and some observances live on GhanaTalks Breakfast Show.
Thank you so much, Miss Regina Bless, for Today in History and some observances of the day. Since today is Stripe Day, dear, unya fufobi, light soup, na unya imadia, na uko.
Yes, sir.
Why are you laughing?
We beg you.
And I miss Debbie. Or say, how are you? See, Stripe Day. It's unya fufu. The voice I hear. Me say na Stripe Day. And unya fufu light soup any my dear.
O se bakubina se ehuna ese sapono.
I huna ese sapono.
It's every day na wanya ne somano. Ya cheche dumpini ho. Na wanya anwana so kaka we say owi anwana na say o mini fufu ni to so sana. It's like you're in heaven.
Hey.
With the miana me the It's okay. All right. Thank you so much for joining us on the first segment of the GhanaTalks Breakfast Show. We will be coming up with the news shortly. Please stay and stay with us.
Are you ready to amplify your business or brand's reach and make a meaningful impact in Ghana and beyond? Partner with GhanaTalks Radio today to connect with a diverse audience across Ghana and beyond. Elevate your brand through on-air promotions and social media. Boost your brand during prime time. With GhanaTalks Radio, you can extend your reach across digital platforms. GhanaTalks Radio is not just a station, it is a community hub where your brand becomes part of the conversation. Join us in fostering connections, celebrating culture, and making a lasting impression. For customized sponsorship packages and enquiries, email contact@GhanaTalksRadio.com or call +233 202 544614. GhanaTalks Radio, giving the youth a voice.
What do you want for breakfast? How do you want your breakfast?
English breakfast, French fries,
Koko Nikosi, alo komi kesheto.
wache.
Well, Gobe is the real deal.
Join us on GhanaTalks Radio. Let's serve you a buffet of breakfast.
From news headlines review, current affairs to social issues.
Entertainment, sports, and all the trending stories live on our mobile app and across all socials from Monday to Friday, 7 a.m. to 10 a.m.
With me, Pakwesi Omare.
Regina Bless.
Deborah Adoso.
And I am Esinal Fiagbedu. This is GhanaTalks Breakfast Show.
GhanaTalks Radio wo UK abrochimemu era from Ghana mu ha the sound system which is spinning machine papa every amana ne aba begu o Ghana mu ha enti se we ye aye we ye engagement we ye wedding we ye birthday party political parties are mo ye rally some we ye sorry mo ye crusade so we bo carnival or any kind of event now we pe spinning machine papa e bo sound no mu e de dia ene me kanfo GTR sounds e de emawo ye wa live band nso a woto nsa e de frenya ye betimi ababeboa ama wudwumedi a wudie nso atimi aye kama pa yɛwɔ Nkran Poponi Mantamo Anya Aponchi Hotel ɛhɔ pɛpɛɛpɛ ɛna yɛbutuo wodi ane sɛ wobɛfrɛ mpanifoɔ ɛwɔ 0546 960510 GTR Sounds emu wɔdɛ angaza.
News, business news, international, sports, and entertainment news. Right here on GTR.
Welcome to the morning news broadcast on GhanaTalks Radio. Coming up, government pledges support for youth employment and small medium enterprises. Secondly, Takrady get 13 million boost for development project. Apenyo Markins calls for coordinated effort to combat galamsey. Ghana to ratify ECOWAS deportation deal pending legal review. Government to fast track integration of traditional medicine into mainstream healthcare. These and many more coming up your way shortly. Vice President Professor Nana Jane Opoku-Agyeman has reaffirmed the government's commitment to creating jobs for the youth and supporting small and medium enterprises. According to her, the government will leverage the Women's Development Bank to empower women entrepreneurs, financially providing resources to boost their businesses. The initiative is to offer access to finance, technology and marketing, stimulating inclusive economic growth. The Vice President emphasized the need of women's empowerment, thriving as a benefit to the nation. She also highlighted the government's commitment to prudent management of national resources, ensuring transparency and accountability.
The strategies will be many, but we want to focus on 4 main areas. The first is job creation. We have a youthful population of whom we are very proud. We know they are brilliant. All they need is a little bit of helping hand. And how are we doing this? We are doing this on many levels, but mainly through agricultural transformation. We are also interested in agribusiness. It's a very long chain, and I have a presentation on Thursday, and I'll give other details. The third pillar is to support the small and medium-scale businesses. Every so often we hear, oh, we need plantations. I'm not against plantations. But if that person has a small piece of land, that person deserves support. If all that land can do is to feed her children, she's doing well and she needs support. Maybe at some point when we roll out our Women's Development Bank, you'll see where we are coming from. Then what's the fourth pillar? Is to use our resources very wisely.
And that was from the Vice President, Professor Nana Jane Opoku-Agyeman. The Secondary Takrady Metropolitan Assembly has initiated the construction of 13 new projects worth 13.167 million funded by the Common Fund. This project aims to improve the quality of life for residents in the metropolis by focusing on key in education, health and initiatives to enhance access to clean water and sanitation facilities. The Mayor of Secondary Takrady, Frederick Fedu, confirmed the commencement of this project, highlighting the Assembly's commitment to addressing the developmental needs of the area. These projects are expected to benefit residents, students and the broader community, contributing to the overall development of the Secondary Takrady metropolis.
The Assembly is supposed to put up 1 kg, 1 primary school, and then 1 DHS. Now we have complied strictly with the guidelines given by the Common Fund, and this is the result of what you see today here.
What was the overview of the Common Fund projects that were hoping to implement?
Oh, very well. As I have stated earlier on, the Common Fund came with guidelines. We are supposed to put up a 24-hour market, which will take 25% of the common fund. Now, as an assembly, we've decided that we shall remodel the Kojokro market into a 24-hour market because of its proximity to the railway station. We believe that the linkage will make the activities at the market boom. We are supposed to put up in the education sector, 10% of the money goes into the education sector. And we are to build a KG, which is being put up here in secondary. We will put up a GHS classroom, which we have sent to Prophet and Cancer School in Kojokro. And we'll put up a 6-unit classroom block for primary school. We are doing this at Adembra, Nana Kobnejan Primary School. The buildings are in very dilapidated situation, and we hope to revitalize all these ones. It's a very old school. It has produced a lot of prominent people in the country. But if you go and look at the school, it doesn't speak well for us as a metro. So we've decided to put up a new structure there to make the place beautiful and up to its standards.
You understand this sort of thing symbolizes
13 projects. Oh, this metropolis is made up of 3 sub-metros, Takoradi, Sekendi, and Eskadokatan. So our approach is to spread all these projects in all the 3 communities or sub-metros. For instance, 10% of the common fund is to be used in putting up a chip compound, 2 chip compounds. We are putting one up at Cancerolo and another at Eshim. Now, we have sent all these 2 projects to Eskadokatan because that is where it is that constituency that is now expanding. Most of the developments, the new developments are taking place in Eskadokatan, Eshim, Mampon areas. Those in secondary, we have a few health facilities. The regional hospital at Fiankwanta is there. We have cheap compounds in secondary around the Zongo area. We have a cheap compound at Adiambra. There is the Skadu hospital. So we believe that sending it over there is the best decision. We are also going to put up over 15 to 20 boreholes scattered in all the communities within the metropolis. And then there will be, I've told you, we are painting our offices. It's an eyesore to see the only metropolitan assembly in Western region being habiting such.
The minority leader in Parliament has emphasized the urgent need for decisive action in addressing Ghana's escalating illegal mining crisis. He expressed concern over the widespread pollution of water bodies and the destruction of farmlands caused by galamsey. According to Alexander Afenyo-Markin, the country faces an environmental catastrophe if concrete steps are not taken. He urged government, parliament and local authorities to collaborate effectively in reversing the damage and protecting the environment for future generations.
Give them my word as a leader of the minority in parliament. I'm ready to support them if they themselves are more than ready to confront the issue head on. So far, because they seem to be benefiting from this gold board is buying gold. You know, these same galamseyers are selling to the gold board. Is there any mechanism to determine which gold is coming from the right source? And because the money is coming for them to stabilize the economy, stabilize the city, they are pretending, you know, that they don't know the sources of much of the gold that they are getting. But if we are ready, they are ready, because they have the government now. They have the authority of states. If they are ready, trust me, outside in parliament, I would lead my colleagues to support government to deal with this, because galamsey is affecting my constituency. Though my constituents are not involved in galamsey, the water we drink come from upstream, all the way from the eastern region. Ayensu, we know where Ayensu flows from, all the way and ends in.
In response, the majority leader cautioned against buttressing politics to fight Galamsey.
He swears and he is ready to support, government to fight against Galamsey. At the beginning of the life of this parliament, if you all remember, we started first with a conference at Kempinski of MPs on how we can build a coalition of MPs to address the problem of small-scale mines. I don't know who remembers. For Mines came and addressed us, where MPs were there. It happened. I organized this, so I know it happened. We invited the minority. He didn't come. He didn't. Not one single MP showed up. They treated it as an NDC MPs event. And from the beginning, the thing collapsed because there was no consensus to work together. You remember? Today, all over the place, I swear I'm ready to support. Let's stop the politics. Let's stop the politics. How ready are you to support? When we, from the beginning, we said, let's work together, because I take a position that every illegal mining activity is taking place in the constituency of a particular member of parliament. And so let's start with that member of parliament. He can help us address the problem, because it's a space that he has control over. And that was why yesterday I said that we will build a coalition of MPs committed to fighting corruption, so that we can help the Minerals Commission, the other state agencies, to see how we can get small-scale mining done properly. I have one belief. I have done some small history, and I know that history has taught us that wherever there is gold, people will go and try and dig it. Whether it is in America, or in Japan, or in China, or in Africa, wherever there is gold, people will try and dig it. All that is needed is for a strong state that regulates the exercise properly.
Majority Leader Mahama Yariga has revealed plans of the government considering to ratify the arrangement for ECOWAS nationals deported to Ghana from the U.S. pending legal advice. This comes after President Mahama clarified Ghana received the deportees under the ECOWAS protocol on free movement, which allows citizens of member states to enter and national stay in Ghana without visas for up to 90 days. Ghana received the deportees as part of its ECOWAS obligations and cooperation with the United States government. However, the majority leader emphasized the need for legal advice on ratifying the arrangement, ensuring it aligns with Ghana's laws and international agreement.
That the issue of the need for parliamentary ratification of the agreement with the United States to receive ECOWAS citizens being repatriated back to the sub-region has been widely debated. If the appropriate legal advice to this House is that we should ratify it, we will consider so. But I can say with authority that the majority approves of the arrangement and highly commends government for negotiating the removal of the U.S. visa restrictions on Ghanaians. Given our business and social ties with America, these restrictions were going to be extremely burdensome to many Ghanaian businesses and families.
The government is exploring ways to integrate and expand the use of traditional and herbal medicines within the country's healthcare system. According to the Ministry of Health, a recent MOU signed with the government of China and has caused the ministry's commitment to attracting investment and collaboration in advancing this agenda. Health Minister Kwabena Minta-Kando made these remarks during a courtesy call by leaders of the Ahmadiyya Muslim Mission. While acknowledging the sector's potential, the minister raised concerns about standardization and contract manufacturing challenges within the traditional and herbal medicine industry. He emphasized that his ministry is committed to enforcing strict regulations and sensitizing the sector and ensuring public safety. He further noted that while traditional medicines have not yet been added to the national health insurance schemes, discussions are ongoing to make that possible. In business, the Volta region has officially announced the maiden edition of the Volta Economic Forum 2025, set for October 31st at the Radisson Beach Resort in Kita. The landmark event represents a bold policy and investment push to position the region as Ghana's next economic frontier. With the team harnessing the Volta corridor economic potential for the 24-hour economy, the forum is designed as a strategic investment platform to attract both local and international investment across key growth sectors, including energy, agribusiness, logistics, and the blue economy. Organizers says the forum goes beyond dialogue. It aims to chart a coordinated policy framework that aligns public and private sector priorities for inclusive and sustainable regional development. Dr. Liklim, Volta Regional Commission of the National Development Planning Commission, described the upcoming forum as a defining moment and a call to action for investors and policymakers to unlock the region's full potential. According to him, Volta's strategic coastal location, skilled workforce, and expanding infrastructure base make it a prime destination for investment and industrial growth under Ghana's evolving 24-hour economy initiative. Stakeholders at the event will deliberate on policy reforms, flagship projects, and investment partnerships aimed at accelerating the region's economic transformation and positioning Volta as a competitive hub for trade and innovation. The forum is expected to feature high-level participation from government officials, development partners, traditional authorities, captains of industry, and international investors, signaling a new phase of collaborative economic planning. As the region declares itself open for business, the Volta Economic Forum is set to become a cornerstone of Ghana's sub-nation investment drive, anchoring regional growth within the country's broader economic diversification strategy. In related stance, the maiden edition of the Volta Economic Forum, which is scheduled for October 31st, the landmark forum marks a new chapter in the region's economic transformation agenda, a clear and bold declaration that the Volta region is open to business, aiming to bring together local and international investors.